So this is our SHARASH IBAR. And I think everyone online now are like seasoned people. And I think everyone is seeing the importance of this exercise, coming back to this language. This is not something we do to be special, to embarrass anyone. We're not trying to compete with anyone. This exercise is very necessary. So SHARASH IBAR, you guys know we start on the right side of the page. So that character that starts with what you would in our Greco-Roman mind, you would say that's an E on his back. In our Hebrew mind, that's the sound of Shah. So we start on the right side, SHARASH. So the second word starts with a glyph of an eyeball. That's I. The 10th floor is Ba. Head of a man again is Ra. That's IBAR. SHARASH IBAR. It would be Hebrew roots in the pagan tongue. The best they understood, they call us Hebrews, but we are the IBAR. We are the IBAR. You're going to see it again today. So this word, I ain't going to say nothing about this word. I want to see. I ain't going to say nothing about this word.
You see how the spirit was on Joyce last week?
And I like how you improvise. I said, that's what Hebrews do. Yes, it's posted. I didn't have the glyphs. He didn't have the software, but he went and got the glyphs from online. That's what we do. We improvise. That's what Hebrews do. You done with that mayonnaise jar? You don't throw that good glass out. That's a drinking glass. TV antenna breaks. You get a clothes hanger. That's what we do. So family, this is today's word. Take a few seconds and see if you can decode that. Those still learning, remember we start on the right side. That glyph that looks like a extended M, start with that and work your way to the other side. Take a few seconds. Y'all heard from Mario? I don't know did we have a storm this week? A thunderstorm? It usually goes out to a thunderstorm. It's not working.
No, it was lighted earlier.
But usually if you hit the breaker, it comes back on.
You hot?
Little bit.
Turn this fan around to you.
No, please. I'll
I brought you
Oh,
water.
praise. Oh, praise. I said I forgot my cup.
Let me see how it's going back there for you, you know.
That's why we need them.
I know what you- Anybody need a few more seconds? Take the time.
Why you think you got some? Right. See it.
All right, we ready? Wait. I ain't gonna spoil it. You ready? Anybody online want to start us off? Anybody inside the virtual room? Was you able to decode this?
Not decoded, but I see the ma, the I, and the da.
And what did Sister Joy say?
She said, Ma'ada, the nations being led to the door, be or see the path or the way, maybe.
Sister Joy only been here about 2 weeks. And Abshayai says he sees the ma, the ah, and the da. So Abshayai is correct. The glyphs are the ma, the I, and the da. And Sister Joy, Nariah, this was hot bread and butter. I mean, can't see it. If this was hot bread and butter, Sister Joy is on fire. Sister Joy is on fire. So the door open for people. Absolutely in the right ballpark. So the process this, our glyphs is the ocean wave, is the ma. The picture of the eye, we just say I. And then the last glyph is a tent door, and that makes our da sound. So I try to spell it how we would say it. So it's either ma'ad or it could be ma'ada. We don't know if we would drop that last A off the da. We won't know for sure until we hear the ancients speak. So if you say ma'ad or ma'ada, you're not wrong, if that makes sense. We just don't know when to drop that last syllable off because we wasn't around for the ancients. So ma'ad or ma'ada is today's word. And Sister Joy, I'm telling you, this is how we know we the people. Sister Joy only been here about what 60 days? I don't think they've been around 90 days yet. They ain't off probation yet. She's processing this stuff. Sister Joy got us started, and she said, "What the nations coming to the door?" Or something she said.
Nations led to the door.
The nations being led to the door. And she's not wrong because the water for us could be a metaphor for people. The water could be a metaphor for people sometimes. So she's not wrong, but this is not the context for this usage. So she's doing it right. And I heard y'all last week. I was so proud of Sister Joyce and Sister Corinne too. I'm like, wow, that they're really getting it because, and I guess I don't have to. I ain't gonna commit to that. But just for your notes, the way you should try to process the words is like you all are doing. The first step is take the letter at face value. Water, the eye for seeing, the door for opening. And then after you take the letter for face value, what you're seeing, the next step, okay, what can these letters represent? What can these letters represent? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Use the first context, the concrete level, water, I'm seeing water, I have, and then go to the second step and what can these symbols represent. So you guys may not realize it, but you're progressing excellent as Israelites. So for this context, though, the water doesn't represent people for this context.
So,
Well, you know what? I'm gonna take that back.
So
I'm gonna take that back.
Before you
It
say
can represent
can
people.
I give mine? Because
No. I want you to be last.
well, Sister Tina,
Go ahead.
the my, I'm trying to think that would be in my room. I ain't got a picture of it, but the my could be within, right?
Could you what?
Within,
Within.
like meaning within, like you had some of me from my,
Right.
could the my be within the eye of the creator? So you see something like I can't explain it. I'm still trying to parse it out with the way I'm thinking of it. Like I even know mine can be renewal. So I had like renewal, understanding, creation, but in a way I'm trying to think of like being within the eye of the creator. So I don't know if that's like some type of protection or a grace or I can't say mercy, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Like that all.
you're saying a lot of stuff and you're right around there, but you're lukewarm. Gina?
So first, Sister Corinne, well, let me say what I had first. I have seen the path to destruction. Yes, seeing the path to destruction is what I got. Sister Corinne said, seeing the way to life. So that's what the way I broke it down was because of obviously the eye seeing. So, and then the path, you know, the door, the da, and then destruction, like she mentioned, T mentioned the chaos, destruction, you know, and yeah.
Say that again, how y'all processed it?
The ma was the chaos, the destruction, and then seeing. So kind of just, you know, putting the words in, seeing the path to destruction.
So Gina and T are getting us closer.
And Sister Corinne says, seeing the way to life.
And now Sister Corinne has taken us even closer. So you guys are going to be, you're going to see you guys are right behind Sister Corinne, but if this was horseshoes, Sister Corinne just knocked y'all off.
Then we got another one, the people will see or find the path.
The people will see, who said that?
Sister Joy, she got another, she trying to get another.
The now Sister Jordan got that hot. So Gina and Sister T had a leaner, and then Sister Corinne just knocked y'all leaner off because when she said seeing the path to life, in this context is getting us closer to what this word is. Now, Sister Joyce, now to get y'all even closer, think of no, you know what? I'm gonna let Nariah go before I say this. Go ahead.
So for me,
I'm gonna give you mic, Sean.
for me, when I parsed mine, I did use people for mine, but I put the people experiencing the path. And I put like here on my notes, I put feast for a point in time. So look at people going or continuing or eternal. I can mean eternal, continue, be, or experience. So as the people flow, because the ma can also mean flow, when the people go and flow with, of course, the Torah, the law, they experience the path. So a couple of precepts, and I'm just paraphrasing off my mind, go back to the ancient paths. And we hear that phrase, go back to the beaten path. So I think of feast days when I see this word, or appointed times, because
Get them on side, hand clap. Come on, y'all. And let me tell you why I chose this word. Because listening to Nariah's class, when he did his SHARASH IBAR, being married to my wife, my mind went so fast. I said, oh, he used the wrong, he used the wrong letters. Because in my mind, with his glyphs, I see my Adam. But then when you said endure, I said, go back, see. And I says, these are cognates. Cognate in the pagan means these words are related. So Imad, to endure, is related to Ma'ad, feast day. Endure, the glyphs for his word Ahmad is the I, the Ma, and then the Da. If you switch these characters up, you can make Ahmad. Ahmad means to endure. And the feast days are everlasting. Now, let me show you how Gina and T was right. Because they said the path to destruction. If you don't keep the feast days, what happened to you? You're dead. The Father says, if you don't come keep my days, I'm going to destroy you. You're going to be cut off from my holy people. You see how the same word could be negative or positive depending on the context of the speaker. So Gina and T were right, because if we don't keep the feast days, Father says, I'm going to destroy you. Y'all see, I love this. So Sister Corinne got us closer, and then Sister Joy changed hers up and came back on in.
Well, Sister Corinne did put another one while Nariah was speaking, the pathway that leads the people to life.
Our feast, obeying what the Father told us to do, keeps us protected. It keeps us healthy. We're sick. Why? Why do we get sick? Sin. These doctors come up with a bunch of fancy words, or you got influenza, you got pneumonia. And it's like pneumonia is fluid on the lungs. I got too much fluid, but we were born in fluid. So like you come up with cocky-mamie scientific words trying to explain, and all Father is simple, you sin. Sin brought this sickness on. So if we don't keep the Most High's appointed times, we're going to be destroyed, like Gina and T says. But like Sister Corinne was getting us to, if we do flow with his rhythm and experience the in and out, the door represents in and out. The feast days come in and out at its exact time. We don't make up when we do the feast days. The 14th day of the first month is my Passover. So Passover is a rhythm that we experiencing going in and out the same time every year. Ma'ad. So to make this plural for, we just put an M at the end to make it plural. I could put another, I just didn't want to confuse y'all, but if I throw an M at the end, we would say Ma'adam. Ma'adam makes it plural, but Ma'ad is a singular. That's all we have to do to make that plural. All we have to do is put an M at the end, it's Ma'adam, and it's plural. Now, some theologians, these Hebraeans, they want to put a yam at the end. They will put a yah and a ma for yam. And most times you'll notice, you'll learn the rhythm when you don't have to use the yah. Just put an M. And for this purposes, just put an M at the end after that da and says ma'adam, and that's plural, feast days. So our feast days are rhythms that we're experiencing going in and out. And like the sisters were processing, this rhythm, this flow is either going to bring us life if we are obeying, or it's going to bring us destruction if we don't. And even the heathens, he says, when he restored us, he says, and those who don't come up to my Feast of Tabernacles, I'm going to withhold the rain from you. So if Father's telling even the heathens in the end, when the Messiah comes back, he's telling all those nations that survived Messiah's destruction, now you witness my holy people, now I'm rewarding you for being a righteous heathen. Well, we ain't gonna say heathen, that's misleading. The righteous strangers who survived Messiah's destruction, the Most High says, now you come up with my people into Jerusalem and you keep the feast with my people. And you nations who don't come up to Jerusalem to keep my days with my people, I'm going to withhold the rain from your nation. So if the Most High withhold the rain, that means you don't have any crops. That means you're going to be hungry, destroyed. So this is our Hebrew word, ma'adam. I thought it was a perfect example how our language, we have cognates or related words this was related to Nariah's Ahmad to endure. And our feast days are enduring. That makes sense?
And I kind of see, all of our possessions of what everybody said in it. Because even when I was saying too, within the eyes of creation, like within the Most High's eyes, He created us to do a certain thing. We're not doing that thing. We're not keeping His appointed time. We're not keeping His feast. Just like they were saying, the chaos.
Chaos gonna come.
Yeah, it's like that. I can see all of it.
Yeah.
How it
That's why I was like,
plays in between it. Yeah.
I see all y'all was saying, I knew it all was gonna come together. Everybody was saying the same thing, just using different contexts. Gina and T took the negative context, which is right. If you don't keep these appointed days, you're gonna be destroyed. And so I knew I was, but look how far y'all have come. And Sister T, this is our first time meeting you, so you've been ear hustling. And Sister Joy, they just been here, what, 60 days, 30, 90 days? This is simple. You don't need no degree. Come back to your inheritance and keep this law, and look what Abba's doing for us. All praise to the Most High.
If I can just see one more, because I think the buy is from within.
Hold on, let me put you on another channel. Maybe it's this mixture dying on me.
Yeah, it might just be clear. I'm gonna use this word. So the ba is inside or in, and the ma means from, right? So as Joyce was saying that, putting everything together, you can also look at these things as being from Ma and eternal I dwelling God. Now, where is that?
Shemayim,
Shemaiah.
where the Most High lives.
Right. So we know His ways don't change. They're eternal.
What they going back to? Well, finish your thought.
Well, that's all really I was going to say. Because I was looking out that, well, from an eternal dwelling place, from an eternal path, from an eternal house, and we know the Most High's house is the only one that's going to stand.
Is Shemayim still on? I know he's tied up. I know he can't speak. Shemayim, y'all still Shemayim? Shemayim, if you can type your favorite scripture.
You can't type, baby. Don't get my,
Oh, never
don't
mind.
get my son in trouble.
Never mind. I'll be in his stead today.
Yes.
Now, what Nariah is saying, the ma as a prefix means from. If someone asks you where you're from as a Hebrew, we would say Ma Yasharallah. I'm from Israel. And then you would, to be more specific, you would say what city you live in. I'm Ma Zion. I'm from Zion. I'm from the city of David. So Ma could be a prefix for from. So what Ak is saying, from an eternal, from the eternal path. Now, going back to Jubilees, and everything is just tying together. Destroying Christian dogma, y'all saying that the Sabbath's been done away with in Christ, and Christ is the Lord of the Sabbath, and by God, all I need is Jesus. But Jubilees 15 says, I caused Jacob to celebrate the Sabbath with us in heaven. So the Malachim that you mentioned earlier, they celebrate the Shabbat, not according to the Roman calendar, according to Abba's calendar. So when we keep Shabbat on Monday, they're keeping Shabbat. When they keep tabernacles, when we keep it, they're keeping it. So you're not knowing this language, Dr. Seminary. You're preaching that your feast days and thou should not have no respective days. Let no man judge you in food or drink, because you don't understand this culture. You're following a Greek and Roman culture. You think you have salvation. But like the sisters say, if you don't keep this rhythm, you're going to experience chaos. That's why you got wanting to buy them charge $1,500 for a prayer class. What? What? That's why you got pastors yoking sisters up and talking. Did y'all see that, man? Take this woman. You just took a female by the neck, and you got the Messiah with you. If that was my auntie, and you just call me this man, you a preacher. and you took this woman by the throat and pushed her out the church. This is on YouTube now, on social media. You ain't see that?
Abishai was talking about, mentioned Proverbs 4:18, the pathway of righteous. Righteous is the bright light. Any other pathway is darkness and destruction.
What was that out?
Proverbs 4.
and 8.
Oh, yes.
Proverbs 4:18 is the perfect verse for Ma'adim for feast days. The church, the Christians don't think the feast days matter, but you keep Easter every year on the second Sunday of April. But I thought feast days don't matter. You already got a Christmas savings club for Christ's birthday in the cold of winter, but feast days don't matter. So the Most High's appointed times keeps us alive, leads to life. And if you don't keep his appointed times, you will be destroyed. So that's the perfect cognitive word related to Ahmad, to endure, is feast days or Ma'adim. Any comments, questions about that?